So I always start off my session with the yields. Rein back is super important to me. Forehand yields away. It's normal for them to be kind of sticky. This is one of Raz's very first sessions together. So, and there he's calling to his friends. So he's quite distracted and kind of doesn't know what's going on. Little correction with the rein back there to get his feet unstuck. Hindquarter yields away. That's sometimes easier. Sometimes they can have a hard side and a good side. Raz obviously on this day had a hard side and a good side. So four-quarter yield. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but they just have to know that they can move their feet away from pressure in a calm way. So here's why I said he had a good side and a bad side for sure that day, because he's like, what pressure? So I just kind of stabilize myself and keep my aid on, helping him pay attention with a little rein back to break things up a little bit. Got a little movement away, so I released there. And again, asking for just a smidge rein back off of the halter to help his hind legs kind of get going. So like my rein back is my go-to yield. A little bit desensitization. Some horses, this is a good idea. Some horses are already desensitized. There, he actually bit my helmet. So it was like one of those blocks that I went up to kind of push his face away, and a little overreaction, which is, again, normal. I try not to get involved into the emotion of it and just carry on. He wasn't offended by it, so we go on. Now, there was a very important yield, the pull down. I'll go into more depth in another video with that. So here we are. I think this is probably his second time actually doing the work. So he's had me up on him one other time before this video was taken. So I like to do the up and over and get into a rhythm with it and really help the horse understand that all their job is, at this point, is just to stand still and be okay with what's happening. And if there's confidence issues that pop up, then we'll address that. My middle name is Graceful, obviously. But I'm never worried to make a mistake with the babies like that where I'm kind of caught off balance, because anything like that will just help them in the long run. So this is actually first time a leg on each side. I was super happy. So this is another day, obviously. We've already done the yields. And I like to do the horses from the mounting block. There are some horses that it's easier from the ground. but I like to do these guys, the taller ones, from the mounting blocks so that they don't feel quite so pushed off balance by me hopping on them. Because again, it's a confidence building exercise. When they walk off like that, I try not to make a huge deal out of it. I try to hang on with them as long as I can. And when it gets too slippery, I just slide off and redirect their energy and go back to it. Because if I was to immediately shut him down, there he's trying to nibble on my legs again. If I was to immediately shut him down by walking away, I could cause some emotion to happen. So again, I am okay with them moving off when I first start them under a rider, because I want them to feel comfortable with me everywhere. And, the goal is that they would walk off from the mounting block eventually. So I don't want to take that idea away from him. So I'm just going to take a little minute there. If you guys noticed, his head went up. He's probably getting distracted by another one of his buddies calling to him. So I like to try and set myself up. If the horse feels distracted, I'm going to take it back down a step. And always just trying to take the time to hang out with them, rub on them, anything that teaches them that I'm going to be just as patient as I'm asking them to be. Just so that they can't get offended with what I'm asking for them to do. So again, a little movement while I was doing an up and over. Not ideal, but it happens sometimes. And there, unfortunately, caught his knee on the mounting block. But again, that was probably more a balance issue and a confidence issue than anything else. So if I was to punish him and say, oh, you need to stand still, it might not actually be helpful to me. So here I have tied my lead rope up so that it is 2 reins, and I am anticipating that I'm going to be taking steps on him now. Always rubbing it out. And if I can find an itchy spot on the neck, that is what I try to do. I took him for a little walk there because he just felt like a little stuck in his legs. And sometimes them standing still because they're stuck is not actually a good thing for you. You want them to feel like they can move. So sometimes taking them away and reapproaching again is the best thing to do. Again, I want to just take my time. Let him feel like he can be prepared. So there he had to walk off, but it felt a little rushed, so I didn't want to stay all that long. So I just decided I would exit and we would reattempt. So here I'm very happy with this because him just being able to sit and stand and let me rub on him is a very good thing. That's what I like to see with my young horses. Being able to stand and accept a rider's weight. Very, very good. So here we are on another day. We are taking our first steps. But again, like I was saying, like I found kind of an itchy spot in his neck. So I'm taking advantage of that. A lot of times your first steps on a young horse are going to be backward steps too. So not making him feel wrong for that, but accepting it as steps. So here we go. Perfect example. And back to rubbing. I want to stay like I'm feeling pretty grounded into my seat so that I can just kind of hang with him. Wherever he wants to go is fine. And I'm just rubbing. And we got actually a little bit away from the mounting block, which was cool. And a few more forward steps. Now here we've been doing it for a while. We've been starting with our yields. We've gone on to mounting, on to walking around bareback so we can take these nice larger steps and actually do like a circle around the mounting block. And that's kind of like where I like to get all of my baby horses before I actually start doing anything with the tack. I first want them to fully accept me on their back and know that they can take a step forward. And then we'll start to integrate the saddle and the bridle and getting me up on top with full tack. So that'll be the next video.